Right, Super Bowl is only a few days away now, which means that my social media is going to be absolutely full of Brits making terrible jokes about Handegg and how American football is just rugby for wimps. And I get it. I was that guy once. However, I've now been an American football fan for 17 years. I've been to the muddy games at Wembley, I've been to the shiny stadium at Tottenham, I've even been in the nosebleeds in the States, not understanding half of the things the Americans were shouting. After nearly 2 decades of defending this sport all throughout the UK, today I'm going to break down 5 things that us Brits get wrong about the NFL. Point number 1, let's talk about the pads. Now this is a big one. A lot of Brits like to say that rugby players are hard because they don't wear pads, NFL players are soft because they're wrapped in plastic. This logic is completely and utterly wrong.
Lines up as the tailback. Reese swings it out to Bush. The ball is not.
In rugby, you have what's called the wrap, which is the technique used to tackle. As suggested, you wrap round. To bring a man down in the NFL, you don't really tackle, it's more of a collision. I've been near the front at a couple of college games, and when you hear that thud of that collision, not pretty. The only way I can describe the thud is almost like 2 bowling balls just being hit together. And bear in mind, that's college kids, that isn't the pros. These are 18, 19-year-old kids. Without pads, you just couldn't have a 250-pound man sprinting at 20 miles an hour into someone else's chest. That would just be a massacre. It's a public execution. The best way to think about it is that the pads are armour, they're not a safety blanket. If you still don't believe me and you still think they're soft, I dare anyone to be a running back for just 1 or 2 plays. I promise you, your ribs will hurt after you've been hit a couple of times. Alright, number 2, and this is definitely one of the biggest ones I hear, and that is just that the game is too long and they just stand around doing nothing for 3 hours and there's only 11 minutes of play. Here's where we get it wrong. We're trying to watch it like a real football match where we're used to constant movement for 90 minutes. The truth of the matter is, the NFL isn't about constant flow. It's a turn-based strategy game, almost like chess. Every time the game stops, they're not just standing around just waiting for the next play. The quarterback is looking at the defense to see if there's anything that he can amend with the play call so that they can get the most yards possible. The coach is looking at a play sheet that's bigger than a Wetherspoon's menu just to find out if there's some exploitation going on that they can maybe use in their favour. Look, I'll be the first to admit all of these stoppages does take a bit of time to get used to. But if you can kind of change your mindset that every pause and play is almost like an attempt at checkmate, you'll start to enjoy the game a lot more. Another example of strategy I can think of is at the end of the game when the offense has the ball. Let's say there's 2 minutes left, they're only 3 points down. What do? Do they score the touchdown now and give the opposition the ball back so that potentially they could go down the field and win? Or do they try and run the clock down a little bit more and then go for the touchdown? It truly is a game that gets your mind going on ways to win. Alright, point number 3, and this one again I've also heard quite a bit, and it's the comment of, they're all fat. Now, this just makes no sense, but when people do say it, they're typically talking about the offensive linemen. Now, these guys weigh around 300 pounds, and I think that all Brits just think that after a few more pints and a kebab on a night out, that they'll be able to play this position and millions of dollars. But let me tell you something about these fat guys. Most of these guys could run a 40-yard dash quicker than me or you could run to the fridge. Their vertical leap is better than some basketball players. And even with all of that weight, they're as nimble as a cat. Their athleticism is absolutely incredible. If you've ever seen one of these linemen in real life, you'll realise that they're not fat, they're just brick shithouses. To be that size and have the footwork of, let's say, a ballet dancer is honestly incredible. In the UK, we value the wiry athlete, you know, the runner, the footballer, the nimble person. In the US, they value the power athlete. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Think of someone like Brock Lesnar, an absolute beast. That is who the US loves and appreciates. And after years of watching these guys, I've truly realised that these are some of the most impressive athletes on this planet. Alright, number 4, and this is going to be a controversial one. It's the name. I hear a lot, why is it called football? They don't use their feet. Why have they called real football soccer? Let me give you a history lesson right now. Now, I hate to break it to you, the word soccer is British. Yes, it's ours. We invented it. It's an abbreviation of association football. And gridiron football is called football for the same reason our football is called football, because it's played on feet and, let's say, not horses. So when we mock Americans for calling it football, we're actually mocking ourselves for a naming convention that we did back in the 1800s. Let's be honest, calling it Handegg It just sounds like something my uncle would say after a few too many shandies on Christmas Day. He thinks it's funny, but we all know it's not. Finally, point number 5, and it's around atmosphere. A lot of Brits think that American sports have zero atmosphere, or if they do have atmosphere, it's cringe. You know those videos online that we've all seen, someone shouting defense, 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 the foam fingers going up. And yes, there is a part of American sports culture that does have that. But let me tell you, if you ever go to Philadelphia, you ever go to Kansas, you ever go to Seattle, you ever go to Chicago, and you watch the NFL there, the noise is deafening. So much so that you can't hear the person next to you, it's that loud. And I'm talking from experience. I've been to numerous games at Soldier Field in Chicago where it is truly deafening. I recommend anyone to go to a game in the NFL, of course, but especially the places I've just mentioned. And then you have the tailgating. Oh, I can't tell you how much I love the tailgating. Imagine a car park full at 9 AM, thousands of people there, barbecues galore, beers flying around. Sounds like heaven, right? Because it is. I've had total strangers hear my British accent, see my jersey, and invite me round to their tent, fill me up with loads of brisket, beers for 3 hours straight. Oh, brisket, by the way. Bear in mind, this is 3-4 hours before the game has even started. These guys don't mess around. Now, in the UK, before a game, we go to the pub, but the car park in America effectively is the pub, the restaurant, the nightclub all combined. It's a level of passion that is just very different to back home, and whilst I do understand why people might not get it, once you're here and indulged in that culture, it truly is great. So the Super Bowl Sunday, do me a favour, put the Handegg jokes away, watch the game of strategy, see all the big hits, enjoy Bad Bunny at halftime, and just watch the American dream played out on the field. Look, I'm still a Brit, I love the Premier League, I still love going to the pub before games, I get all of that, but look, give Sunday a try. If you don't like it, you know why. If you love it, you're welcome. So my fellow Brits, let me know in the comments, are you going to give Sunday a go? And for my Americans, is there any other tips that you can give to the Brits so that they can enjoy the game a little bit more? Let me know in the comments. Also, please like and subscribe. Plenty more videos of a Brit expat living in America to come. Really enjoying making these, so please do support me as I make more and more videos on this channel.